Hey everyone, hope you're well. We're just literally breaching overnight high as we come into the stream. Hoping we don't sweep this too hard without me. How's everyone doing? What's been happening? Okay, so we're approaching yesterday's high and overnight high right now. We may be tempted to take a little fade. Delta is pretty high at the moment. Hey buddy, how's it going? Hey Sicko, how's it going buddy? Okay, so we just swept the overnight high just before the previous day high. Delta's pretty one-sided at the minute. See if we can rotate back into this sort of level, but I'd rather see that we take it a little bit more. So how's everyone's trading day been? You guys been in any trades? What all's been happening? We're a little bit late in starting. If it's to be a fade, I'm not loving how the deltas just went here, but I like it that it's went parabolic into this level instead of a grind. Hey Neil, so took a couple positions in treasuries. Nothing too exciting. I think something like 8 or 9 ticks or so in treasuries. That's about it. That is about it. We had a nice sweep here. Then we've just essentially consolidated once back into value. The play right now is deciding if we're going to fade this. I would rather see if nice to see if NQ can sweep the highs more. Really key level to be honest, because we're just approaching yesterday's high up here. So I'd like to see a sweep of yesterday's high before, because we're super close. What about you guys? How was your trading day today, Neil? Did you take any positions? Okay, so NQ's just taking the high. I've seen a lot of buying here. Just close to the previous day high as well. I wonder if we're going to have as much spoofing today. There was tons the other day, or yesterday even. So if you notice there, the 60 wasn't taken, which is interesting. I think if we were to get in, up here, we're probably going to need to have two stabs at it, because it could very easily take the previous day high first. Let's split this out. Nicely done, Neil. Nicely done, mate. Okay, definitely willing to absorb in the offer at the minute, but the bid is still there considering how the delta's still climbing. It's the only way this is going down. The book is thicker, much thicker today. What's up, Vader? How's it going, bud? Seeing a little two-way here. I think until NQ goes down, as I was saying, this is getting quite close to potential fade, considering we've been down on the day and in pre-market, and we've just went bids, and we are approaching yesterday's high. But look at the delta though. Are you guys in any positions? Yeah. Did you see the bond auction and stuff like that? There's a 10-year note out which basically made the market move. I think that was at 1 o'clock. So the question now is, are we going to continually take the highs, or is it going to reverse back into at least the value area high sort of area in treasuries? Okay, so 76, let's see the exact previous day high. 75 and 3/4. Here. Here's the exact overnight high. Sorry, previous day high. Okay, so ideally here we want to see this hit, and then we need to see some more absorption, and we need this bid to be pulled here. But look at all the amount of buying that's going on here. It's been a lot. 300 absorbed, or literally right at the top tick. Right, there we go. There's a sweep. Okay, are they going to continually banging it, or you just woke up? Whereabouts are you based, Sicko? Okay, so this bid needs to be pulled if this is to go down. It's not great that we're seeing this amount on absorption on the bids here. It does, doesn't it? It does. Except where the delta's looking pretty unstoppable at the moment. I mean, it's not fantastic if you're looking to fade, if you're seeing still so much absorption on the bid, to be honest. It's not very appealing. And this is where, when you have your key levels, you're looking. You need to wait for confirmation. You need to see. You need to see this for this to be, a trade. You need to see this bid start to be pulled. We've seen absolutely none of that so far. And then the next target, if we can get there, is going to be here. I would say so, Neil. If that's the type of day you've had, mate, just chillax, watch the stream. No need to execute. Take it easy. Chalk the day up. To be honest. This is just a one-way trade at the moment. There is nothing so far that even gives a glimpse of fading this so far. We've seen a second hit, so whoever is absorbing on the bid and the way down, they need to start pulling. And it's most likely to be the same firm. It's doing it. Here we go. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to continually go bid? Or do you think we're going to revert back into value? How many trades did you take today, Neil? Were you trading pretty frequently, or did you size up, or is it just a good day? Hey Hong, how's it going? Tired this evening. This is starting to look more appealing. We are seeing the Russell and the Dow is ticking down. Nice man, that's good stats. Good stats, buddy. Hey Vic, how's it going? Okay, we are getting the first glimpse here of this going down. Watch, when this happens, all these orders could just be pulled here, and we could drop like 5 or 6 ticks in a flash. And then we're retesting the. We're going to retest the previous day high. We notice how all these numbers are hundreds bid, and when the market hits them, we'll see if they actually do trade. Because one of them's going to be real, right? One of them's going to hold up the market. It's late night, you're in Asia. No problem. What about Sickle? Whereabouts are you based, buddy, if you're just waking up? Or did you just go for a nap? So unresolved, we can take that out. Let's see. Good short. You need to try and crack this 75. You need to basically the market needs to retake the previous day high area. It's looking likely at the moment. Yeah, here we go. If it continues heading into bed, just notice the amount of orders that have been pulled here. If they continually drill it in here, there's going to be these longs you're going to have to liquidate, and there's going to be a cascade soon. 16 hours, jeez, oh. Long day, man. Okay, so they're still absorbing here in the offer, which is good. Yeah, ideally to make this non-painless for you, Goose, you need that not to happen. I think I've realised the stream I forgot to put it on low latency, so you guys may be delayed a little bit. But we've got all the merits here. If we can take this out and then the bid's pulled down here, then could be a really good trade. We are struggling in this area a little bit. Okay, if we can take this, but we're not liking the amount of... There's a lot of two-way going on right now. 75 and 3/4 is the level. This will be the third time if we get down again. The positive delta has tapered off a little. There we are, I didn't break 75s, which is a pain. Doesn't look to be as much spoofing so far. You can't sleep. So what time is it for you, Hong? Did you take your 10 or 12 goose, or are you still holding? Wow. Jeez, oh man, it's late for you, buddy. Brain's tired. How many hours ahead is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 7 hours ahead. To be honest with you, uh, Neil, I'm pretty tired at this time. I should really trade. I should really stream. Um, market open. First couple hours of open. I'll need to schedule that in. Okay, so flash that 189. Let's see if they take it. So they've just pulled it. Yep. Good to see they're still spoofing. Okay, so interesting they've went back up to the highs and they've essentially not taken it, which is a good sign. Getting a little flush in NQ would be sweet. And you're back to the 75 level. Okay, let's see if the sellers take that. Just instantly pulled. Jesus. Here we go. Pulled again. I have a feeling they're just testing how aggressive the sellers are at these levels, to be honest. They've got absolutely no intention of filling these orders. None. Yep, here we go. So if this continues to hit into the bid here, this is going to capitulate. Let's see if sellers take that. They take the full amount. Yep, here we go. This should be going. Yeah, there's been 3 spoofs, but I reckon though they've just been testing how aggressive the selling's been. The last spoof was actually filled. So this should be going now. We're seeing a full tick down. If they take out this level, we're going to see a cascade soon. We're going to see all the longs here need to cover. If they can take out 74 and a quarter, but we're defending right now. And it's never as simple as that. That's the hard thing. Yes, it's never as simple. Like they always, tick it back up. Like in our 5-6 ticks, you very rarely does it look like it's gonna go, and then they just bang it like this. It's brutal. Yeah, extreme losers though, Neil, for the spoofing carry on. Okay, so 74's new level to crack. Looks like the market wants to fill out this area a little bit more. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get another attempt at it. We need the bid to be pulled. an NQ to go down would be quite nice because you've got the Russells already. The Russells ready to rock. No real action so far. Nice little filling out of the high of day. Yeah, I need to do something like that, Neil. I need to do a session at the regular trade hours because it comes to this time, my brain is fried, to be honest. You're based in the US, Neil. Is that right? Are you still in this, Goose? Or did you close out when you hit the a little break of 75? Oh, you're in Canada. Nice. I have a family out in Canada. I need to go there at some point. Okay, so the Russell is currently ticking down. I think we're going to need NQ to move here, and then if these bids are pulled, then this should be going. Um, Delta is essentially sort of flattening out a little bit, but it's hard to have a bias when we're right bang in the middle of this range right now. And you know how slippery ES is; it could still take the highs before before going down. Still in. Even yeah, they do, man. Specifically for say when it's like a 10-year one or 5 year, obviously it affects the. I wouldn't say the 6 month or 52 week one or whatever. I don't think that makes a difference, but the ones that come out that are ultimately affecting the 5, 10, and 30 year make a big difference. Yeah. Well, as big a difference to bonds and treasuries. It's maybe can maybe cause like 10, 15 ticks of movement, maybe. Depends on the numbers, of course. And at the end of the day, like every market has its own, like specific data point that comes out that moves it. And obviously you've got everything that moves with FOMC events, PCI. Sorry, not PCI, CPI. Everything moves with the big news events, and of course NFP, big job reports. Yeah, exactly. I would really only pay attention, mate, to the big ones. The ones that are ultimately affecting maybe the 5, 10, 30 year, and then they have a the repo operation as well. And essentially what they're doing is that's just basically the government wanting money, and then people buy the bonds. Very simply. So the government gets their money weekly, monthly, yearly, or whatever. They issue returns on it. There's going to come a time when no one's going to buy them. That'll be an interesting time. Okay, the market is certainly rejecting higher at the minute. So 74s was the level. See if we can crack it. We have this 120 here at 76, which is probably just a test. See if it gets back up, and if we're going to pull it, I suspect it probably will. Yep, classic. One more try, man. Let's see if we can take it, buddy. Bid has been pulled. NQ is going. It's the same again, and the Dow is down this time. Let's see. Some stops should be triggered if we can bang it here. They are absorbing. Here we go. And they're just not. You shall not pass right now. Thank you. Can flush. Needs to break 97s. The Russell's going. Oh, this is right on the cusp here going. And then there's just. They're trying to load it up. It's like they know, isn't it? There's quite a lot of absorption down here. They just never give it to you. It's never super easy, is it? I thought you got it 78 and a quarter, Goose, or did you enter in our position? Yeah, watch it. Watch it dump now, man. Always the same. To be fair, you need whoever's absorbing on the bid here, they need to go. I mean, the market does look like it wants to go down, right? You've got all indices ticking down right now. But they're just not making it very easy. Because right now, if buyers step in and offers pulled, you're back in the range again, you know. But it really looks like it wants to go. Oh, you're short 74s. Oof. Here we go. There's just been too many attempts here, isn't there? Right, now. Last chance to in here for buyers. NQ's ticking up. It's not helping. See, the buyers didn't take that full 70. Let's see if they're going to take that. If they don't, then sellers will probably continue hitting. They do. I don't know. I just used Haikanashi mate just to try and remove some of the noise. But I never take trades solely on it. It's just a visual. It's yes, price action is not ideal. Man, there is so many people. I've seen people draw like random triangle patterns and stuff. Like, I don't know. You see some weird patterns, don't you? People almost draw like origami on the chart, and when it reaches the top of the origami, they buy or something. I don't know. Like technical analysis is almost like white magic. There's just no danger. I just really don't think that big funds with billions of pounds at their disposal are worrying about, you know, a trend line, to be honest. Because all these patterns, they all work extremely well in hindsight. That's the problem. And the trouble is when people go to backtest them, it's the most subjective thing ever. Because the trend lines do you take ones that like don't break the trend line? Do you take them when you do? You know, how do you draw trend lines? Do you know what I mean? You guaranteed you could give a chart to like 10 different people and everyone would draw the trend lines different. Again, it should be related to some sort of volume, in my opinion. Because there's no danger because realistically, do we agree on this? That say for example, you you had say 20 million to put in a market for a big fund, right? Are you going to look at the market is in a trend line right now? Do you know what I mean? I can tell you one thing. I would not. You're instantly going to see, okay, where was the most money spent yesterday? Okay, if the most money was spent there, let's see if we can get below that price tomorrow. If we're looking to buy, we want it to be cheaper than the previous day because we know when we're going to buy that amount, we're probably going to drive the market up anyway. When you've got size to shift in any market, right? The previous shit that's happened is meaningless. Oh yeah, the harmonic patterns. That's the one. That's the one. Hopefully, I'm sitting here bashing them. You guys might trade them. I don't know. I, you know, I just think you might as well just get crayons when you start to use that kind of stuff. The only reason a lot of technical analysis works is because people look at it. Do you know what I mean? Because can you imagine what it was like in the 80s and 90s in the pits when dudes were executing? I mean, I can't imagine some of these dudes if you've watched documentaries and you've ever seen any interviews with them, right? Um, you know, in the Bond pits or in the NQ and S&P pits and stuff. These guys didn't really seem very bright. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've watched the documentary The Floor or whatever it's called. I think we've discussed this before. But some of the guys in that just did not seem the sharpest tool, right? So actually what we're doing right now, I mean, is probably light years ahead of knowledge of what they probably had. They had it before there was before they were the market makers. So they knew someone big was coming in to buy. They simply saw he was coming in, so they would literally see him, and then they would just probably buy, a smaller size with a broker to the left. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was any more complicated than that. Think of the amount of human error that was done there. Crazy. And then as soon as algorithms come in, it basically just cut off their money. They went from probably trading hundreds of times a day to like us, where we need to be selective. I don't know what everyone's thoughts is in that, but it's just my sort of general view. I don't know if you've watched any of the documentaries. Or the guys don't, they seem pretty thick, to be honest. I can guarantee you, the knowledge that everyone has here will be more knowledge than what they had at the time trading. Just because they were looking at, the market was a price in the screen, they weren't looking at trends and stuff. They were probably just listening to noise and seeing that, John's a big trader, so if he jumps in, we'll probably piggyback him because we know he can probably move the market a few ticks when he goes in. Yeah, exactly, Hong. Exactly. That's the thing. And to think about it, how they were, I mean, they would take a position by flashing hand signals and then write it down in almost like a golf scorecard. You know, I mean, jeez, the amount of errors that must have happened there is ridiculous. And then the rebuttal to that was, oh well, it's a real code of honor. If you didn't, be honest, then no one would trade with you again and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, it's a bit weird. And that had to be automated. It's a shame that it did, to be honest, because as soon as technology develops in any market, and it happens eventually in every market, regardless of what industry you're in, as soon as technology then develops, um, the competition becomes harder. It's just how it works in any market. Pikey boy, how's it going? Yeah, exactly. They didn't. I mean, seriously, man, these guys would have just been. They would have just been looking around, hearing when the market, when literally people in the pit are screaming and making tons of noise, they know there's volume going on, right? And when they know who the big traders are because they're all wearing specific colors. When one of the big traders starts flashing thousands of lots, they say, okay, he's buying. Geez, I probably should not fade him. I think that was pretty much the extent of it, to be honest. Good, buddy. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, This looks pretty grim. It doesn't look like anything's going to happen till for the next probably 50 minutes. Boo-hoo. I think it's already taken out yesterday. Already taken out yesterday's highs. Unless the higher was in pre-market. I've only got the regular trading hours up. We can take out. Did you see last week's highs? No. Yeah, I could take out last week's high there at 88s. Could do. I mean, Delta is literally just grinding up right now. AO, how's it going? Yeah, already took out. Yeah, but it hits it quite nice actually. But and then we've retested the level. Well, we kind of breached it by like 5 or 6 ticks, and now here we are. To be honest, but it just looks like we're sort of filling out this area right now. I see how many contracts were traded at the POC 17k. Excuse my yawning. Okay, 75 3/4 is yesterday's high. Let's see if they pull these 50s. Surely they're not going to be that dense to pull 50s. I mean, come on. It's a sad state of affairs if these dudes are going to pull 50 lots. Friday. Yeah, it could very easily, man. If we don't hit the downside, then you know, my sort of theory is this trade now for me. If I was short, I would be looking to get out. The reason being is when the market goes bid like this and it goes quite aggressive it should be aggressively coming out. The last thing you want to be seeing is the market like consolidating at the highs and just absorbing on the bid. And also, we're seeing a little bit of negative delta, but not really. I mean, delta is tapering off, and we need to see some size come in, you know, until actually something's to happen. But when you see the market go bid like this, and you know it's a relatively decent move, when it gets to this level, you want to see it correcting pretty quickly. This is not you know if you're fading this, you don't want to be seeing it sitting at the highs for an hour, right? But that's a good point, Vader. It's kind of to wow. It's kind of to see just I mean this is the type of action that we wanted to be seeing when you're initially getting in, do you know? So right down to 74s was the previous level and it's just stopped to the absolute tick. Literally to the tick. They hit there like 700 contracts instantly hit the bid and the market didn't flinch. For all intents and purposes that should be going. If they hit it again with some size it'll be interesting to see. But then the market to get there, to be honest, it pulled. So the size was hit into 74s, in 74 1/4. But in order to get there, it was slightly pulled. Exactly, Pike. We're basically just in a little bit of an accumulation zone. So let's see if they can bang it here at 74s. what's the setting of your BB? You mean Bollinger Bands? Uh it's the VWAP bands. I think it's 4 and 5 if I remember off the top of my head. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Come on, some pain, bang it. Need some size to come in here and the bid to be pulled, and then we should be off to the races. And we're not. Okay, we are starting to see Delta turn a little, ever so slightly. So I would say if we can crack 74s, max down to 72s, then we're going to see the sort of domino effect. So if they hit it pretty aggressive, but again, as we discussed, there is still someone happy to absorb here, and they need to stop, pretty much. No, no particular setting, just standard deviation from the volume weighted average price. That is pretty much it, buddy. Mm-mm. This is not really happening, is it? Just still in this range. We're going to break out it soon enough here. Whatever which way it does, we're going to see some pain. Is anyone in any positions or what's happening? Here we go. We could go now. Let's see. Okay, in theory, if this is the drop, we shouldn't really be turning above like 77.75. We should be continuing a bit lower. You can see the market is trading out here, right at previous day high. Here we go. Just cannot. See, yeah, though, there's just not really any real oomph, is there? I mean, look at this delta, it's just flat. If sellers can come in here and then now they're hitting 100 lot at 73s, you know, sellers, if they were to be aggressive, should be taking this. They should be smashing through these bids here and then should be taking the full amount and this should be going. You know, if sellers really wanted to be aggressive here, they would be taking this. They would be gobbling at the chance to take 73s here. There we go. And then it should be continuing on. And you want to see absorption there on the offer and this to continually hit in. This is going, so this should be going now. We need NQ to drop a little bit more. But there's just not been any follow through since we've literally been on stream. It's like paint, it's like watching paint dry when it's like this. And then before you know it, we're literally back at 75.75. Brutal. Zero follow through. Sad. Very sad. Hey James, I don't know, man. This is basically whoever. This is the hardest part about this. Whoever is absorbing here on the bid, um, the market's not going to go down until that happens. And it looks like we've probably got another 25 minutes of this because the market seems to be moving right now with really no size. If you look at Delta, really nothing is happening. The market's just moving up and down within like a 10 tick range or so, and it's moving with orders been pulled. So absolutely sucky price action, to be honest. Yeah, I think you're right, Pike. It's pretty much just FOMOing each way at the moment. We are trying. I mean, Russell is the only one. It's basically waiting for everyone else. And I think once the fact that we've now been in this range now for like an hour or so, um, when we do break out, it's going to be it's going to happen. Look at Russell. Russell's just pounding. Yeah, exactly, exactly. This is the exact time where if you were long, you would just be taking profits, but sellers are continually trying here. It's just once the bid goes, this is going to go. I mean, they're continually pressing. This is like they've hit this level now one, two, three. This is the fifth time, and obviously Delta is really not even moving. So Delta is very slightly negative here, right? And yet it's just all been completely absorbed here at these levels. So, in order for this market to go down, whoever is absorbing here, they need to basically stop absorbing. And most likely, they're probably going to need to have another hit up here so that all this absorption can effectively get out, and then it will probably drop. But saying that, you could just bang the 200 just been pulled. They could just continue to hit into the bid, and then now they're sort of saying, look here, down at 70s, there's 310 lots or so sitting here. We'll see if this actually trades when it gets there. I know exactly, exactly. Here we go. We need this to be. We need this bid to go away. I know 200 contracts exactly. Watch these 70s, man. They've been there for a while now, so we'll see if they're there. There's an 100. Let's see. Let's clear it. See if it trades. Yeah, that one did. We are seeing a little bit of selling come in right now, but again, the market's not doing anything. We've seen negative 3-3 delta here, negative 3-3 here. They are trying, and the other markets aren't going down. So it's like I was saying, this market's not moving until whoever pulls this bid steps out of the way. Because really, there's like 70 lots flashing here, 90. They should be taking that in one clip. Okay, nice little iceberg here. It's 73s. Intently refreshing the bid. Do you guys see what I mean though? Whoever's like someone is just not done absorbing here. They need to be pulled, and then when it goes, it will go. Still not done yet. So they just cracked a low there and then instantly lifted the offer. Sad state of affairs of price action, honestly. It's like you want to get the meme with the stick and poke it, do something. Because if you're short here, I'm just not cut out to sit in a trade like this for 2 hours or whatever. It's just not happening. This is the hardest type of price action. It's actually going down, but it's doing it in the worst fashion. Doing it in this, creepy down 3 ticks, up 2, down 5, back up 4. Okay, try number 15. See if they can hit it. Oh, guys, this is this is rough. Goodness. This is some of the worst action I've seen towards the close in a long time. Well, I can tell you one thing for certain. In the next 25 minutes, there is going to be movement. Yeah, so we're basically now just trading out this area here. So, oh, okay. So yeah, so we're just trading out this area now. But ultimately, we want to see this reversion back in here to like 65s. That's where the market's looking to go. You'd like to think that the market's going to go down and sort of fill out this 70s liquidity here at least. But again, we're seeing, Delta sort of going slightly negative, working its way down, but the market's doing nothing. And then any form of lifting into the offer is just, sellers are melting. So the actual offer here seems it still doesn't seem very convincing, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a good point. With all the news coming out tomorrow, um, I would like to see the market revert back to the mean, to be honest with you, but we could just consolidate out here. Look at the amount of selling at these lows here. Negative 500, 300. They just need to punch it. Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well, Neil, but it looks like they're going to need to have one punch higher because the thousands of contracts just absorbed on the bid here and the market's not moving. Because the trouble is, all of this selling here, if the market starts to lift into the offer and we get up to like 77s or something, they're going to have to stop out and before you know it, we're back up here. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's almost like a multi-distribution, to be honest. Swept the low, we've swept the low and swept the high. I mean, we are working our way down at the moment. It's just not very convincing. I still think the unlikely scenario here is going up and continue ripping the highs, especially before the news that's going to come out tomorrow. Okay, let's see if they can take it here. This is going to be the level where if they can bang it and lift into the offer, and we go up to 77s, everyone that's sold down here is going to start rethinking their life here, which kind of makes sense because the amount of absorption on the bid, these guys need to start essentially getting out, or they want to bang it a little so they can start covering. So there we go. And you can see how the market is reacting pretty well to buying. You know, it is taking the prices, whereas when the market was moving down, it's not doing any drilling motion and lifting into the offer. It was just moving by the bid being pulled. Different action. So here we go. Now, if they're continually hitting it, we need to pay attention to where these dudes that, wow, it's like that. So as I was saying, these dudes that absorbed on the bid, they likely need to get out somewhere, and as soon as they get out, then the bid is pulled, and then before you know it, you're back down here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the key part for this to go down is if the market does revisit 73s again, whoever basically stopped it and absorbed this like 1000 contract negative delta roughly needs to be gone for this to go down. And if you notice how the market's not really moving because of aggressive selling. The market, when it ticked down like 5 or 6 ticks, was moving because the bid was pulled. You know what I mean? Whereas when it's coming uh, into the buyers moving it, they're lifting the next price. Yeah, it's just ugly price action. Exactly. No follow through, no real direction. Um, and the thing is, the more we trade out and accept this area, the more likely we are. But I really think in the next 15 minutes we're going to see some oomph, one way or another, right? We just need to know the sort of 73s, 72 and a half area where all the selling was absorbed. Because if we can crack that, the market's going to want to go and fill out 70s where this 300 odd contracts are printed. Yeah, it's trying to run again, but we're not. There's definitely been more buying. I mean, we're at plus 11.5k delta at the minute, more than that actually, when you take into account this candle. I mean, seriously though, this price action is pretty much just, no humans making money doing this. Because if you're looking for any form of follow through, you bought here, you get stuffed. You sell here, you get stuffed. You buy here, you get stuffed. You sell here, you have your dick in your hands. Do you know what I mean? It's not exactly very clean, is it? And the time that you think, oh, okay, we're going to bounce here and bounce here and bounce here, which is the most unrealistic strategy in the world, you then essentially buy back into the range. But the time that you actually try and preempt that's going to happen, it'll literally, it'll take the low. So you just need better price action. This is non-tradable, to be honest. I reckon that we're going to need to have, we need to really sort of take out this sort of area And then we need to take out, roughly the highs here. So we've got a little bit of a movement, to be honest with you, before it does anything. So this is effectively the high and low of the range where the extremes are. To be fair, I don't know why we're really surprised. This is, we've got extreme news tomorrow. It's not exactly like the market. I just would expect a little bit more of a fade back into value, not this garbage. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got in 5 minutes time, you'll notice the market's going to go oomph. Literally on the dot. It happens at 10 to 4 US time all the time. So let's see if we can do it. 4 minutes till we actually see some potential decision. Yep. It's data that's probably going to move things. And then algo time at 4 o'clock for 2 or 3 minutes. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, action time. What do we think? Do we think we're literally just going to trade out this range, or do you think we're going to break out it? What do we think? Not been the most entertaining, to be honest, this session, but what can you do? Okay, let's clear. And let's see. Yeah, we should hopefully see a breakout at least somewhere, right? Watch it in the next probably 30 seconds, maybe less. The market's going to move. You notice instantly the DOM's going to move in the next couple of minutes. Well, not minutes, seconds. Ten seconds. Notice the bid's been pulled. Let's see if they can crack 70s. Here we go. 2 seconds. Bang. They're going to take it? Surely. They didn't even take that. That's so disappointing, isn't it? Oh, jeez, oh. Oh, God. They just love it, don't they? You know. Where's Nav when you need them? With his 5,000 lots. Spiffy. There's no danger that this dude down here at 70s can pull this. This has been here for ages. Yeah, so MBO data is good because when the market typically gets to those levels, it's a good area to start taking profits. I wouldn't take any entries on them, but it's a good area to gauge for taking profits. Front running them on an occasion can be okay, but I wouldn't say it needs to all be put into context. To be honest with you. So as it looks right now, completely uneventful. Sadly, we've got a total of 10 minutes for the market to do something. Someone want to get a stick out or something and poke it? I think when in the next 10 minutes, basically the POC is probably going to move. The point of control for the regular trading hours is probably going to move up here pretty soon. Okay, let's see if we can do the exact same on the other end now. The trouble is with all that selling down there now, there's the potential to be some stop runs, but it looks like they're probably just going to drag it right back into the range now. Exactly. Well, that's the thing, Goose, that pretty much when these large news events come out, the market can just take back a whole week's worth of gains, in 10 minutes. So, the general view is the market pricing in tomorrow's news, or is this essentially just getting a better price for the market to sell off tomorrow? Do you know? Oh, offers really pulled there. But yeah, exactly. The more data you have for the DOM, the better, right? I mean, sadly, you do get to the one thing is you are getting to see the spoofing. Okay, let's see if we're going to bang it at the highs. I find it pretty surprising if we continue ripping here. Okay, NQ's just taking the highs. Let's see if we now fade back into the range. Yeah, it's tempting, but to be honest though, Delta's now cracked the high, you know, and stops could be triggered, but most likely, and we're now just going to revert back into the range. But there's not really a point trading at this time, right? If you've not made your money, then you've got literally 10-15 minutes for the market to have any movement. Yep, I had some trades on treasuries. On today, I've not traded ES. That said, I've made like 8-9 ticks or so on treasuries. But yeah, considering we've swept here 3 times, the most likely thing is we're just going to revert back to the range, and this is just the market making heaven. You know, take the money down here, back in the range, bid it up, get filled on the offer to get out of your bids, and then flip and work the offer, and then drive it back into the range. Classic. So I thought you did this stream. Here is the link for anyone that would like to support the channel. It's much appreciated. Sadly, the price action this session has been gash, so not been the most entertaining. Okay, so 2 minutes. 2 minutes to see what we can do here for algo time. Looks like we're going to end in a spike here for tomorrow. Yeah, because most of my trades are mean reversion plays. It depends on the day type, but with treasuries, I do like to take a break of the level and look to try and hit some stops, because when treasuries goes, it goes. It's not the same. Why is this stopped? Is this my setup here or something? Why is nothing trading? Is the market broken or something? That definitely wasn't me, right? Why did that the market just stopped? Hmm. Nah, this has to be my setup here. Has to be. There's no danger the market's just yeah, has to be. Yeah, it is. Okay. Just got a bit of lag there. Extreme lag, to be honest. Oh, okay. Nice download at the time. Just as well I wasn't trading when that happened. Jeez, oh. Yeah. I think actually there's the download happening. That didn't help. Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, what's going on here? The MBO data was flashing and moving, but then the market stopped. It's like the algorithm just stopped for a second. uh, it looks like we're just going right back in the range now. Most classic setup. I don't think we're going to break the highs anymore now. That's the first time I've seen a freeze there in a long time. Okay, so that was pretty uneventful. We just saw 2 hours of absolutely painstaking chop with no follow through, and now, yeah, it'll be live tomorrow, mate. It'll be much better action tomorrow. It's going to be a really volatile day. So hope everyone stays safe tomorrow. I think everyone should probably err on the side of caution tomorrow. There's no point doing your arson tomorrow when it's, you know, just no need. I'm not saying like today you should. It's, the money's been made in the open. To be honest, much cleaner sweep. This is the type of action you're wanting, not this. Look at this behavior here. Shocking. I think we'll probably see a direction going in pre-market, then we'll see it corrected, and then or we could literally just have a complete and utter tiny bell curve until news comes out, and then probably 30 minutes before the news, the market will have some size, and then we'll go bananas one way tomorrow. There's never going to be any massive direction, I don't think, prior to the news. It's just going to be this type of behavior, pretty much. Not exactly very entertaining stuff. Hope everyone stays safe tomorrow. Make sure and reduce your size. Take it easy. You know, there's another trading day, so if you start off with a couple of losers, and that's even before the news comes out, probably chill out, to be honest. But that probably looks to be us for the session, dudes and dudettes. Certainly nothing going to happen here. Yeah, TPO is looking a little bit normal. Looks like we're just probably. I still think we're going to go back down and fill out 78s, but we could end the day in a spike now. But all the volume's pretty much done. That was all the market's giving today. The next 50 minutes is people just going to be closing off positions. To be honest, just your friends gambling the whole 250k Apex account tomorrow. I mean, what's the point of gambling an Apex account? Because you can't your winnings are capped unless he's really negative on it or something. I don't know. Or if it's a valuation type thing challenge, then by all means. Anyways, guys, let me know if anyone's got any questions before we look to call it. And hopefully tomorrow there's some better action for when we're on and it's not as stale. All you can really take away from this action here is just don't trade it, to be honest. He's gambling the eval. Alright, that makes sense now. Just close, just toss a coin. Toss a coin. Heads for buy, tails for sell. What's the bees to be? Same setup as red or black. The only trouble is it's probably even less likely because of the trailing drawdown. So if you go in with size, the trailing drawdown will hit you, and then it will be night night. So it's probably less odds than red or black. But I hope you guys have a good evening. We'll catch you in tomorrow's stream. Hope everyone's in a good session, and we'll catch everyone tomorrow. Peace, guys.